Hi guys, and welcome back. We're on day 18 now. We were on probably the second last week. So I have this week getting this sheet ready, and then we'll have next week doing one final or building out one final process that's going to help you. So this week we're going to finish off your kind of cash flow sheet that's designed to help you really get on top of your cash flow. And then next week we're going to be looking at building a pricing guide or a pricing calculator that's really going to help you price according to your cash flow and your margins. Okay, so we're going to keep going today and building out and practice using this sheet. So this sheet is your cash flow sheet that's going to help you divide your cash balances into various budgets. It's really going to help you get a control of your spend. It's going to help you stay on top of where your money's going. Okay, so what we're going to do first is obviously we're going to practice using this again. We're going to whip through it nice and quickly. And we're going to see where that leaves us. So you can see here, the last date that we did was the 7th of January. So what we're going to have to do is go into your bank, get your bank statements off, and take from the 8th of January, so the day after that, and today we're going to do the 8th and the 9th. So we're going to do a couple of days today, the 8th and the 9th of January, and here's how we do that. So the first thing we do is obviously get rid of the old income, and that'll adjust your daily totals for you. And what we're going to do is insert any... let me change that. Insert any income that's come in on that day. And in this case, it's just 1,000. So that goes in there and get rid of that. Then what we need to do is just insert these into the running total sheets. And again, make sure when you're putting those in, you're not pasting the formula because that's not going to be any good. It'll be very obvious when you do, because when you post the number, which is Control-Shift-V, you get the number. If you don't copy the number, you get not a number. Okay, so just keep an eye on that. It's very obvious when you don't, but just paste the number rather than the formula. I'm going to go through every single one. So we've got the VAT, and then we're going to go back to there's nothing in the profit budget. Again, once we get caught up, we'll show you what to do with that profit pot. It's almost effectively the best pot in the business as part of the cash flow, but we're not at the point yet where we can use it as we want to use it. So we're just going to leave that empty for now. And we'll go back to the income. We want to do the wages and expenses, which are often the two biggest. So in the wages go. Unfortunately, still in the minuses, which is not what we want to see, but that's potentially going to happen to you whilst everything catches up. But once the date's live, you can then use that. You can use the fact that it's in minus to kind of affect your business decisions that you're making, which is where we want to be, really. You want to arm you with the information that you need to make good decisions. Okay, so all those are in there. The next job is to reel off any expenses. So you can see here we've got 4 today. That's all. We've got a wage, VAT, an expense, and a material spend. So 4 different ones. So we'll do materials first because it's here. That's 1,100. So as you can see, we've still got, that's the wrong column, 1,100. As you can see, we've still got a very nice materials pot sat there for us to use. And then the next one we want to do is, so we get rid of that. VAT, so we had a VAT payment of £200 go out, which is good. So we've spent 200 quid there. And that reduces that. So we've still got that in the pot to roll over for another quarter, which is exactly what we want to do. And then insurance, which is 64, and that's an expense. So make sure that goes in the spend, which is good. And then we've got the last one, which I think was £180 wage bill. So get that over to the wage section, which unfortunately is going into more minuses, but it doesn't matter for the moment. Whilst we're getting it live, it's historical data. There's not really a lot you can do about it. So don't worry too much if stuff starts to go into minuses. That's just the way it goes sometimes, especially when you're not using it to guide your spending. So once we are at the point where we've got live data and you're starting to use this data within your business, you'll know when things are in minus, it's time to reel the spending back in. But obviously we're going over historic data here, so you wouldn't have known at the time. So if things go into minuses, don't be too hard on yourself. It might just happen, but you'll find it easier going forward for that not to happen, which is exactly what we're trying to do. Okay, so that is a couple of days worth done. So you can see it's nice and quick. Probably going to take us 5 minutes, 10 minutes in the morning to do it. All we need to do now is move money around so that your 4 bank accounts will be actually set up look like that. Obviously, your main account's always going to have the most in it because that's where your income and the majority of your bills come out. But everything else should sort of sit roughly sort of wherever you need to, really. So profit, until you start putting a percentage into here, that profit's always going to read 0, but we'll get towards that towards the end of this week. Your owners pay, when it's time to pay yourself, you know exactly how much that's going to be because it's right there in front of you and separated out. And your VAT, when your VAT bill comes due, you should have it available for you to pay as you need to, okay? So that's going to build up separately as an untouchable pot. So move your money around according to that. And the last thing to do always is just change the date to the date that you just did. So the last transaction we did was the 9th of January. So put that in there so you know where you're at, okay? So almost like a bookmark. That's it for today. We're going to come back tomorrow. We're going to do a few more. We're going to catch up to the 10th, 11th, and 12th, which is the end of that week. And then we're going to have, by the end of this week, probably Thursday, we're going to have caught up and you're going to be using completely live data. And then come next week, we're going to be showing you one more process to implement within your business to make this a lot easier. And that is how to perfect your pricing. Okay, so once your pricing is perfect and once your cash flow systems are perfect, you'll find your money is a lot easier to control and a lot easier to keep on top of. Okay, so keep checking back in. We're going to do another short one tomorrow. We're going to do 2 or 3 more days, and then we'll just go from there until we're using completely live data. And then on Friday, we'll probably go through some more tips and tricks to get the most out of this spreadsheet before moving on to our perfect pricing strategies in the following week. Okay, so as always, any questions, give me a shout. But if not, we'll see you tomorrow.